So that's 3 games under Ruud van Nistelrooy, 2 wins and a draw. United, I know, brace yourselves. We've just won our first European game in over a year. Oh, yes. Fantastic news. Now, it's going to be almost a match reaction of 2 halves. I'm going to speak about Ahmad and how much he was the difference maker there tonight. In a team performance which really lacked intensity, that second goal that he scored to seal the game was all about Ahmad wanting the ball, desire to get it, getting it, and the quality to get the finish. Was there a slight deflection? Of course there was. But you make your own luck. And that's what Ahmad did there. But overall, that lack of intensity is like the antithesis of what we should be expecting under Amram. It's going to be ridiculous to see how this squad copes with that. But let's speak about Ahmad first, right? I did a video at the start of the season saying that this feels like the season of Ahmad. That was Ahmad's first start in, I think, just over a month. And given, look, you know how sometimes when a team's playing poorly, you point at someone else who isn't playing and you're thinking, oh, he can be the difference maker, bring him in. And then he doesn't make the difference and you just point to someone else until somebody hopefully makes a difference. It's parcel of what happens when your team's playing poorly. But the consistent calls for Ahmad to come into the team haven't just been a case of, fingers crossed he makes a difference. He's a very different attacker to Garnacho, to Rashford, to Højlund, to anybody. Plays differently. And the fact that he scored those 2 quality goals there tonight. Did he mean that header? I don't care. It went in. It was an unbelievable header. That second goal was all through Ahmad's own hard work and desire. In the first 20 minutes, he played like he sort of saw fire in his belly, an actual intensity that so many of those other players just didn't show. And that second goal itself was the absolute epitome of it. I've written there that Ahmad set an example there. A player who's probably been massively frustrated at what's happened this season, sat on the bench when Garnacho and Rashford haven't been creating the output that they need to keep their spots in the starting 11. And that's why people have been calling for Ahmad to come into the starting 11. And now Ahmad is the first name on the team sheet for the game against Leicester, because that game lacked a lot of quality. And we won 2-0 thanks completely to Ahmad. And the 2 goals that he scored, that was a wonderful ball from Bruno Fernandes, but an incredible header. Even if it was supposed to go back across the box, he had to jump, he was going backwards. It was a great header. And that second goal, I don't think Garnacho scores that. I don't think Rashford scores that, because it was about the drive to be there, to hustle, to hassle the defender, put him off, win the ball, nick it, and then just bend one in. Sure, there was a little bit of a deflection on it. But in football, you make your own luck. And that's what Ahmad did there. He deserved it. He richly deserved it. And that's why people have been calling for him to go into the starting 11. It's not just because we want someone new because, Garnacho and Rashford aren't doing it. It's because Ahmad offers something different to what everyone else offers. And there it was on full display. And can I just say, congratulations to Ruud van Nistelrooy. 3 games as interim manager, 2 wins and a draw. He would have enjoyed that there tonight. Look, was it a perfect performance from United? Nope. Not in any way, shape or form. Large parts of that game were just so under par. But it was Ahmad, the difference maker, who made that a 2-0 win. But for Ruud to win a European game as United boss, that is something that he will personally remember and cherish. To win his first game against Leicester, it could have been 3 wins, but the Chelsea game is a 1-1 draw, and 1 game left now against Leicester in the league. But as I said, if we're looking at Ahmad, and I'm saying Ahmad is a bit of a shining example of what you can do if you put your mind to it, you actually graft for it. It's a complete opposite. Well, not Ahmad, but a lot of the other performances there tonight were the complete opposite of that sort of intense approach that Amram's going to bring in. And this is the same thing that happened with Erik ten Hag. I'm going to do a video on this because it's worthy of its own conversation and research so I can present the points properly. But look, Garnacho, the attacking quality wasn't there. The intensity wasn't there. Højlund, Højlund is struggling right now. And I'll be honest, look, it's 2 things with Højlund. Number 1, we're not playing through our striker. Largely, we just don't do it. We just go down the wings. Rarely do you see United progress the ball centrally up towards the edge of the box. It just doesn't really happen. And then when it does happen in this game, certainly, Højlund's first touch just left him. So it's a bit of both. It's like Højlund has to do better when he gets the chance to actually be involved in an attack, but he also has to be involved in more attacks. And they kind of work against each other, because when there's less chance to have the ball at your feet, maybe he's overthinking it himself, but I don't know. Højlund is in poor form right now. But I've got no doubt at all that he will thrive when Ruben Amorim comes in. I've got no doubt at all. Now, Bruno had the assist there, but Bruno wasn't his best game. It wasn't anybody else's best game. It was just, not Ruud van Nistelrooy's, it was just Ahmad's in attack. And that's what happens when your best players with the best qualities turn up in games like that. That's not a game where United absolutely deserve to win. I suppose actually over the course of the game we deserve to win the game. But it's not going to be remembered for like the highlights reel. You're not going to go back and watch that game again. It was just all about one individual who pulled United through by scoring both of those goals. And I suppose, what's really annoying is that he hasn't been used early this season. As I said, sometimes there can just be calls for players to come in just for the sake of it, just because you're so pissed off with the starting 11. Sorry, just play the kids. Play anybody. Don't really care. That hasn't been the case with Ahmad. Going into the season, I did a video saying that this feels like Ahmad's season, that he had been working for it. The graft of being there. And can I just say that as a sort of commending Ahmad's attitude this whole time? You'd never seen him throw a tiff. You'd never seen him not even smile, really. He's always kept himself grounded. And tonight there was the opportunity. And there's a video I'm going to do. I might do this tomorrow, actually. I want to have a little conversation about Ahmad and Amorim and something that could well happen. I've been speaking about it with a couple of people this week, and I think it will deserve a video itself. But yeah, Ahmad easily man of the match, all right? United getting 3 points there. Finally, we won a Europa League game. I don't know what the other results were, but United should still easily be qualifying for the knockout rounds of the Europa League, and relatively comfortably as well, all right? We've got how many games left? 4 games left now. We're on 6 points, quick maths, and we should be winning the other 4. Is it Bodo Glimt we've got next? I think Rangers is another one. We've got Victoria Pleasant, and I'm not sure who the last game is. But these are games that United should be winning. But for Ruud van Nistelrooy, I'm going to finish on that because we are now coming up to the end of the Ruud interim period. To beat Leicester in the way that we did in the first game was just like a sort of an explosion of fun at Old Trafford. That's the way I described it. The game against Chelsea was tetchy. We had some moments, but it was a game where I think a draw was a fair result. And that there tonight was a game where you want to forget about 75% of it. And then the 25% that you do focus on, you really enjoy it. And that's all down to Ahmad. He is easily man in the match. We go to the Leicester game now. We've got one more game before Amorim and the final international break until March. Finish on a win. We beat them 5-2 in the League Cup, sure. But that's the League Cup. There was 9 changes, all right? Ahmad is going to be the first name on my team sheet. What's the first name on yours? I think it's going to be Ahmad as well. And it was great to see him enjoy himself. Look, that's what happens when you graft for it. That's the only reason that second goal went in. Fair play, Ahmad. He was the difference maker tonight.